Hello, dear friends, and welcome to our weekly service on behalf of the Middle East. Last week, we touched upon shifts that are happening in the Middle East, in West Asia, with Syria's El-Sharra visit to Moscow. We will remain for a moment with this theme, and of course, with more questions than any kind of confirmations. Do the statements of El-Sharra about respecting all past agreements with Russia, do they indicate changes in the ties with Washington? And this is after his visit in Moscow. So far, on the evidence that is available, the understandings with Moscow secure Russian interests and presence in Syria that have been there for a long time, since the time of Assad. And the United States sees it less as a shock and more as a confirmation of frozen reality, with much concern about practical consequences to come. About Syria being a pivotal point or a testing ground for power models, and of course, just in a nutshell, Syria, even though she's very far from any kind of autonomy and self-determination. It's interesting that I say she for Syria, so I will continue with she. So she, even though she's very far from any kind of autonomy, she nowadays begins to weave direct links between her and the big patrons. And this also allows passing practical messages between them, the big patrons, if they accept limits with rationality, for the best of all involved. Who knows? This might be the beginning of a process of links, maybe more free links. But now I am bypassing the possible war with Iran. If it were to happen, that might change not only Syria's function in the Middle East, in the area, but it will change everything else. So just a touch of Syria's possible function if things go well. My dear friends, I'm just trying to witness movements and shifts that are happening concerning Syria and focusing on Syria as much as my understanding allows it, and share it with you. Thank you. Over to you, Efrat.
Thank you, Helen. Good evening, dear friends. It's good to be here together again. Last week, Helen presented here the subpersonality of the Arab population in Israel, mainly in relation to the violence and challenges within the Arab society. This evening, I will continue addressing the subpersonality, this time from a political perspective relevant to the political power. The Arab population constitutes about 21.5% of Israel residents. In 2015, 4 Arab parties united into a single list known as a joint list. The main motivation for this unification was the raising of the electoral threshold for the Knesset, from the cabinet, election and the concern that smaller parties will fail to pass it and thus not enter the Knesset. This unification lends the joint list to an achievement of 15 seats and participation in the change government led by Bennett and Lapid, and also one of the leader, Mahmoud Abbas, was the first minister, Arab minister in Israel government. The return of the Likud party to power, along with eternal ideological disputes, led to the dissolution of the joint list. Today, ahead of the election expected to take place around October in 2026, there is once again a trend toward unifying the Arab parties. According to polls, such unification can make this list the third largest faction and central factor in determining the next government. I would like to note one more significant point. Today, for the first time in history, an Arab woman has registered to run into the primaries of a Jewish party, the Democratic Party. The entry of Arab citizens of Israel into the political arena and certain centers of influence is an important and magnificent trend toward equal rights in the state. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good to hear this news from Israel. Spark of hope. So let us prepare for our work. Let us settle into our body. And into our inner silent place. Feeling our heart between the shoulder blades. And making sure that it be purified in harmlessness so that it can hold complexity beyond judgment. And collect now our mental forces in the center of the head. And from here, expanding our perspective to be inclusive, planetary. Standing as the soul in incarnation, in the will to love. Joining together now, reaching out to each other, heart to heart, across distance. Mind to mind. Soul to soul. Being part of the Ajna center of the planet, in vibrational resonance with all soul-guided servers around the world. standing calm, like on a pinnacle, at the midway point between humanity and hierarchy. And from here, we take a look at humanity as it struggles with all these forces in motion everywhere. Sixth ray forms crystallizing and breaking. Seventh ray coming in along with the fourth ray, bringing new approaches between Pisces and Aquarius. Very dynamic situation, all these forces in high action. And within this planetary context, let us now focus in on the region of West Asia, getting a sense of how these many powerful forces meet here in this Middle East vortex. Zooming in for a moment into Syria as a testing ground for power models. And into these ongoing movements and new configurations happening in the Arab world at large towards more regional autonomy and diversification of international relationships. Everything in motion. Looking for a moment into Israel, especially to the Israeli Arabs, finding their voice now. Getting a sense of Palestine in this wider context. And taking a moment to just take in the ongoing tension around Iran that is hanging over the whole region. And as we look at all this, we remember that West Asia is a focal point for ancient karmic solar plexus issues of humanity at large. The question of identity and belief, the conflict of interests, the struggle for dignity and sovereignty. So let us now do our transmuting work, refocusing on the pinnacle, as a group, connected to all other ajna workers on the planet. And from the pinnacle, we draw a line of light upwards towards hierarchy, the planetary heart center. Continuing this line, this alignment towards Shambhala, the planetary head center. Visualize a stream of love and will pour into the planetary ajna center, a new group of world servers. And there become light, soul light. Bundling now our soul light into one stream of light. And we invoke the Lords of Liberation now to help us transmute all that stands in the way and evoke the soul light in humanity to forge together a path for the saving force on our planet. Let the Lords of Liberation issue forth. Let them bring succor to humanity. Let the rider from the secret place come forth, and coming save. Come forth, Almighty One. Let the souls of men awaken to the light, and may they stand with massed intent. Let the fiat of the Lord go forth, the end of woe has come. Come forth, Almighty One. The hour of service of the saving force has now arrived. Let it be spread abroad, Almighty One. Let light and love and power and death fulfill the purpose of the coming one. The will to save is here. The love to carry forth the work is widely spread abroad. The active aid of all who know the truth is also here. Come forth, Almighty One, and blend these three. Construct a great defending wall. The rule of evil now must end. See and sense a shaft of pure golden white light, broad and brilliant, flood West Asia. See a huge column of light pouring through all planes. Hold this column steady in the will to peace. See soul light flooding the mental plane of the Middle East. See soul light pouring into the astral plane of the Middle East. See soul light pouring into the etheric physical plane of the Middle East. Penetrating into the earth. joining with the Devic forces, transmuting the ancient records of evil sharing, dissolving and purifying them into the recognition that every human life is sacred. Sense and intuit and visualize a possible process of this region of conflict and turmoil transforming into a field of creative tension. Field of creative tension. Let us take 3 minutes to see this work proceeding. Now, visualize the saving force spreading in West Asia, being active in each nation, each ethnic group, each religious group, bit by bit, transforming conflict into a field of creative tension. Visualize the principle of the highest good of all, gradually and steadily taking root, lifting humanity from solar plexus dynamics into the heart. Let us affirm this as we sound the great invocation in Hebrew and in Arabic.
מנקודת האור אשר בדעת אל, יזרום האור אל דעת האדם. ירד האור על פני האדמה. מנקודת האהבה אשר בלב האל, תזרום האהבה אל לבבות אנוש. ישוב מורה עולם על פני האדמה. מהמרכז שבו נודע רצון האל, תנחה תכלית את רצונות אדם. תכלית אותה מורי האנושות יודעים ומשרתים. מהמרכז אשר נקרא המין האנושי, תוגשם תוכנית האהבה והאור, ויחתם הפתח אל הרע. יהי רצון, ויחדשו אור אהבה ועוצמה, את התוכנית על פני האדמה. אמן.
من نقطة النور في العقل الإلهي ليشع النور في عقول الناس وليهبط النور إلى الأرض. من نقطة الحب في القلب الإلهي ليتسرب الحب إلى قلوب الناس وليرجع معلم الكون إلى الأرض. من المركز الذي تعرف منها إرادة الله لتقود الغاية إرادة الناس البسيطة، تلك الغاية والتي يدركها المعلمون ويخدمونها. من المركز الذي مدعوم بالجنس البشري لينتج تسمين الحب والنور ويختم على الباب الذي يقيم به الشر، ليجدد النور والحب والقوة التسمين على الأرض. الله أمين.